Hi everyone, welcome on my YouTube channel. Today we will speak about element Fission. It's been a while that I didn't make a video on this game, but I'm still playing the game. I'm still enjoying to play the game, even if sometimes I'm very sad that this game is not that popular, and I really can feel in game that the game don't have that much players, but I really don't know why this game is not much more popular, because in my opinion this is a very great gacha, and especially if you like the PvP, this gacha is the most PvP oriented gacha that I have ever played. And this is also maybe why it doesn't interest a lot of people, because I feel that they can't balance decently the game with all the different dark and light. But this is what we can expect from a lot of different gacha. It is very not easy to balance the game, but this is true that in this game, if you don't have a lot of dark and light, and you can sometimes feel frustrated because the difference between the skill set of this elements between dark and light and classic element are huge. But today we will speak about the new update. They added heroic mod, they added a new element in 4 stars, so you should be able to have the new element pretty soon if you keep summoning, and a lot of different things. So we'll speak about all of that in this video. Let's see. Okay, so as I said, they just released a very great update, and we are now farming the Boxing Club. Boxing Club is the most famous dungeon in the game, because this is where you can farm the gear with the speed set, and it's probably one of the most important sets that you can find in the game right now. So let's speak about the heroic mode and what can you have here, and why is that a very great content that they had. So we got speed. I'm gonna keep this one, and we'll sell this one up. Flat stats. Okay, so what we have in the heroic mod. So first of all, if you want to unlock this mod, then you will need to complete this challenge, which is a sponge. Yes, this one. So you have to clear Boxing Club B10 with a team luck rate of at least 250% without using support feature. So support feature, it means that you can't use the different champs of your friend, of your teammate from the clan. So it is not too hard to unlock this content, specifically if you play the game for a long time. It's been a while that we can farm all the different dungeons with very high luck rate, so it was not difficult for me to unlock the heroic mod of the Boxing Club. So what do we have here? When you unlock the heroic mod, you're gonna have some options, and you can choose right here. You can lock 2 different options. It means that you're gonna increase the drop rate of 2 different sets in the heroic mod. I highly recommend you to obviously lock the increased drop rate of Swift Gear, and I think I used to lock this one, but I'm gonna change now. I want to have some bash gear or maybe revenge gear for my arena defense. So I will lock these 2 different sets. Sadly, Gear Emperor select up to 2 items. Sadly, we don't know exactly what does it change during your farming. We just know that it increases the drop rate of Swift or Revenge Gear, but we don't know exactly the different ratio. Also, you can lock this thing, a small chance to drop a universal gear. So this is insane, but if you lock this one, then damage dealt by continuous damage and attacks proportional to target HP is reduced by 66%. It means that right now, with the team that I use, I could not farm the boxing club in heroic mode because I abuse of Ninret and the Ghost Captain, which are using a lot of poison debuff, and so I will not deal that much damage, and it is not possible for me to farm this mod with this option right now. But obviously I think this is the target. We're gonna need to find decent team without poison to farm this dungeon. And you also have the possibility to farm the Elerium in heroic mode, and this is totally awesome. So I farmed the heroic mode all the days, and I think that the drop rate seems to be around 2 to 3%. Let me know what do you think, but most of the time I need to do like 40 runs to get one Elerium. So it means that we are around 2.5%. So I think 2 to 3%, or maybe 1.5 to 3% maximum, but it is not too high. And obviously this is great that it's not too high, because if we can summon limitedly the different elements from the game, then it's not gonna be something fun. So I feel that they find a good balance there. Let me know what do you think in the comment. I already know that a lot of players are gonna complain like we don't got any Elerium when we are farming the heroic mod. This is bad and blah blah blah. But they need to find the balance on the farming, and I think 1.5 to 3% it is something great. Also, you will reduce the luck of your team by 50%. So this is the team that I use. It is great team that farming very quickly. I'm gonna show you the different stats. This is the same team that I used before. I didn't need to change that much things. I'm gonna tell you what did I change. I changed it, not the end cannon. I changed this girl. I changed the bookworm because now you're gonna need to deal much more damage to clear the wave with one skill, and I'm using bookworm with a lot of luck rate, so I had to lose some luck rate to get some more offensive stats to be sure to clear the wave with only one skill. And if you don't, then it's gonna make the run much more slow, and even it can make your run fade simply. So this is my bookworm. She still has a lot of luck rate. She has 70%, so I think this is great. Now let's speak about the turtle tank. Really nothing specific here. Fuel discovery set for me, but you can also use any other set that you... Maybe I should have used in spear sets to increase the damage of my bookworm. Well, you got a lot of different options, obviously. And there is the Ghost Captain. Also a lot of luck rate, some accuracy. I'm using, yeah, something specific. I use the glancing rate, the steady sets to avoid to be dodged by the boss. I don't know if it works like that, but I feel that my win rate is much better like that, because sometimes when he uses the skill 3, it didn't trigger the bomb. And I don't know, I didn't look attentively, so I'm not sure that if it is because he missed or maybe because I needed some accuracy. Honestly, I don't know, but I got some steady sets, so I decided to use it. What could we say about this update? They increased the number of... Great, I'm gonna zoom on this video. They increased the number of... the number of... what is the name of this one? The runes that we can have in the inventory from 1,800 to 2,000. This is great because, as you can see, we keep farming a lot of different gears, but we also need a lot of different money to upgrade these different runes. And well, this is not easy to find the balance between farming, keep the gear, sell something. Well, I feel that we got a lot of different sets, a lot of different gears, and it is very annoying to manage everything in this game. This is maybe one of the worst thing that this game has. Let's summon, and after I'm gonna speak about the new champs that they released. Maybe we're gonna summon one of them. I already summoned the blue witch, but I still don't try her. Got ninja. One more beer. I don't really know what do I expect from summoning in this game right now. Because sadly in this game everything is about the dark and light. So when you make normal summon, you don't expect to have too much thing. One more bookworm, but sadly I don't have good innate stats. So we got absolutely nothing interesting. And okay. So let's speak about the new champs. So I unlocked the Wicked Witch in water element. Let's read the skill and let's see what she does. Steal 1 buff and 30% of your max HP from the target enemy. So she scales with HP. So you can steal the buff and deal some damage. It's gonna depend on your HP. Is she... okay. When she is 6 stars, she becomes a speed leader and she has very low speed. Wow, okay. Reduce the target's max HP by half of the damage dealt. Reduce the target's max HP by half of the damage dealt. So you're gonna reduce the max HP, but you will deal some damage. So I think it's good if you play against someone very tanky who's using a lot of healers. Reset the cooldown of this ability if targets get killed. So maybe if, let me see something, 1000, she doesn't seem to have that much high HP on the basic stats, not high attack, not high speed, so she has very bad basic stat, I feel. But maybe we can expect to kill some damage with this skill, 30% of your max HP. I don't know. I don't realize if it's possible to one-shot someone with this skill. It probably doesn't scale with anything else. So it means that it will ignore the armor. I don't know. I'm gonna try. Attack all enemies, apply 2 turns, attack down and defense down. This is a very great skill with a 50% and 70 if you skill up. Sadly, it is not 100%. Afterward, increase your action bar by 5% for each debuff on the enemy side. So you probably can get an extra turn if you play with a lot of different debuffer. Attack the enemy and apply 2 turns damage over turn. Okay, if resisted or immune, cast this skill once again. It scales by 230% of the attack. So let me check something. $280 here. I feel that if she can double cast this spell, this is great. Maybe she could deal a lot of damage with the skill 1. I don't know yet. I'm gonna try. Let's speak about the fire. Apply 2 damage over turn for 2 turns to the target enemy, then launch an attack. Okay, increase damage by 30% for each debuff on the target. So it means that you probably will increase the damage even if she's alone by 60%. Or maybe apply 2 damage over turn. Maybe damage over turn is considered for 1 debuff, and even if the enemy got a lot of damage over turn, it will not scale. I don't know. I'm gonna make the test. Increase damage by okay on the target. If the target is immune to damage over turn, increase damage by an additional 50%, and it scales by 540% of attack. Seems to be a very great damage dealer, in my opinion. Especially if you play with a lot of different debuff. So she's probably gonna be useful. Attack the enemy, apply 2 turns toxic and 1 turn sleep. If the target is already under the sleep effect, the skill ignores 70% defense. Toxic, decrease max HP by 5%. So if you... Okay, she is probably the counter of the wood bear, because if you use the skill 2 on the wood bear while he's sleeping, then you will ignore 70% of the defense and you got attack. The scaling 370% is great if you ignore 70% of the defense. And attack the enemy and apply 2 turn damage over turn with 60-70% if resisted or immune, cast this skill. Okay, this is the same skill that we have on the Water Witch. Let me check something, because she is comparable to the Dark Ninja. What is the scaling here? So when you use Dark Ninja, you're gonna ignore everything, and with that scaling, which is not that high, only 250%, you can most of the time kill everything. So I feel that she's gonna be like the ninja, the Dark Ninja, but more situational, because you need the enemy to have sleep. So she will have to play fast, and you will probably be able to kill all the different wood bears in the game. So they just give us a very good option to farm the different defense with the bear, the wood bear in arena. But most of the time, wood bear is also coupled with the what is the name? With the mercenary mother in water element, so she will focus the wicked witch. So we probably will need to play her with the skill set. Well, it's not gonna be that easy, I guess. What do we have on the wood one? Whenever a debuff you apply is resisted, reduce the effect resistance of all non-boss units on the battlefield by 10% up to 10 times. Whenever you successfully apply a debuff, inflict 1 turn unresistable toxic. Okay, this is a passive, and attack down, death down. Okay, afterward increase your action bar. Okay, this is the same thing that we have on this girl. But we have the passive, which can be triggered by the skill 2. Okay, I don't know exactly what to think about this skill sets. I think that it's gonna be very situational because you don't even have 100% chance to land the debuff on the skill 2. Whenever a debuff you apply is resisted, so it means that it is your own debuff, so you're gonna need to play. But if you don't trigger there, because you have only 50 to 70%, then you will not trigger the passive, I guess, because it is not considered as resistance. You just don't trigger the debuff. So I really don't know what to do with this champ. I don't feel that she's gonna be useful. But once again, we're gonna need to try. Obviously, there's different champs to know if they're great or not. Let's look on the light one. Attack all the enemies 3 times. Each attack has 70% to 80% chance to apply 2 turns damage over turn. Ignore 25% of the defense for each damage over turn on the target. 3 times. It means that you can have maximum 75% of ignore defense, but you're gonna need to play with a lot of accuracy to be sure to land the defense debuff, and it scares. So the scaling could be very huge because it is an AoE, and if you land 3 different damage over turn, then you will ignore the defense. It's gonna be huge. Maybe we should even play her as pure damage dealer with someone that can land the debuff, the defense debuff, before that she plays. I don't know. But yes, this is a very decent skill. In my opinion, I think that it's gonna cleave a lot of different team in arena. Attack the enemy, apply 2 turns toxic and 1 turn sleep. If the target is already under the sleep effect. Okay, so this champ gonna be a beast in PvP. She's going to counter the beer. Even better than the fire one. I didn't look that. If resisted, blah blah blah. Okay, same. Your skills activation chance against enemies without debuffs is increased by 30%. This is something great. I like that kind of passive. If your attack lands a critical hit, remove one buff from the target and apply damage over turn for 1 turn. Additionally, all damage caused by damage over turn on the battlefields will be increased by 50%. Okay. The last sentence, damage over turn on the battlefield increased by 50%. This is gonna be huge for PvE. Attack all the enemies, apply 2 turn attack down, and say 50 to 70. So it means that your skill activation chance, if you start to play with her and there are not any debuffs on the enemy team, you will have 100% chance, if you skill up the champ, to land the defense debuff. Afterward, increase your action bar. This is what we have on the skill 3, I think. What it was? So it's same skill 2 of the water reach. Attack the enemy and apply if resisted. Okay. Descent kit. I don't know if someday we will be able to try these gems, but I really like the light element, the light wicked witch. I feel like she's the best of the three. Wow, this is all we had on the update. I think I missed something. I think I missed something, but I don't know what could it be. Yes, so we got the, what could I say? Now we also have to farm. This is something I'm a bit confused, because about the Abyss hunting event, tomorrow we're gonna have Gear Reinforce, so it's gonna be good for clean the different gears that we got. Dungeon Battle Anonymous, great, I like this dungeon. But for example, if they release new stage like heroic mode for the different dungeons, they should also increase or do something for the different dungeon that we have here, because to be honest, there you for the visitor the drop rate is so low, and you can't, I mean, it's gonna take a while to have the legendary potion in the right position to expect to reset the different gears. And I feel that it's much easier to farm another gear than to farm these things. And this is why we got a lot of different gears in the inventory, because if the game were well designed, in my opinion, we should like farm a lot of different legendary and brilliant gear, and then after we should just go to these things. And this is very great idea. We should just go back to this dungeon and farm the potion to reset. We got 5 tries, and then after, if we really didn't have enough luck, then we could just sell the gears and go back to farm. But sadly now you can't expect anything from this dungeon. And this is same for this one. You can't expect to reforge anything. The only one useful dungeon in the Abyss dungeon is this one, because you can convert the different stats. But the idea is very good for the garbage jungle and the Sea of Decay, but sadly the drop rate is too low. You can't waste you're gonna waste a lot of energy if you want to have the legendary potions. And as I said, now we got the heroic mod, so it's much better to go back to farm another different equivalent gears and gamble it. So this is everything that I have for you on this game. Let me know what do you think about this update. Let me know if you agree with what I said. Well, enjoy the game, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.